Ashildr is here. And I have for you my Doctor Who Series 9, Episode 12, a discussion video dealing with the episode Hellbent. There's two things I want us to talk about. The first one is the answer to the question, who is the hybrid? Having that be the question that the whole series has been building up on. You're pretty sure we get to this episode, we're going to get a clear answer to this question. Who is the hybrid? And of course, the end of the previous episode, Heaven Sent, we kind of thought we got it. You know, the doctor comes out of the confession dial and he speaks into the dial and says, I'm pretty sure you can still hear me. You got it wrong. The hybrid is me. And of course, oddly enough, using the word me could have meant two people. Now, I initially took it automatically as he meant himself. But we've had this character throughout most of the series going by the title, me. And I hadn't thought of that. It hadn't sunk in on me. I mean, I talked about the possibility she could be the hybrid. And yet, the reference to her as me went over my head last week. But this week, it's pretty clear what he meant was Ashildr as me. And so, we get late in the episode. The doctor has set up his plan to take Clara out of time and save her, and try to save her. Of course, that's not going to work. And we get set up with, instead of a solid solution, we get set up with options for who the hybrid is. Is it the doctor? Is it Ashildr? The two me's? Or is it a third option, which really doesn't make sense to me, although that seems to be the option they went with, and that is combined presence of the doctor and Clara. Now, in no way does that work as fitting the definition of a hybrid. A hybrid is the result of the combining of two beings into a new being. So you've got the technology of the mire becoming and creating part of their DNA into Ashildr's DNA, making her a hybrid. And if we go with the doctor being half human, he is a human Time Lord hybrid. Not the only human Time Lord hybrid out there. He's not the only one, but he is one. And Ashildr is a Mire Viking hybrid. Two warrior races. And it is the two of them standing in a pocket, barely surviving the end of time, inside the cloister that the doctor and Clara went into to try and escape the rest of the Time Lords and get to a TARDIS. That is where Ashildr is sitting, waiting for the doctor. And so you've got the two of them standing at the end of time on the ashes of Gallifrey. So they both technically prove themselves to match that qualification here. Clara does not come out and stand on Gallifrey. So I'm down to one of these two is the proper hybrid on their own. And like the doctor, being she's the one sitting there waiting for him to come, she is the hybrid. That would be my answer to the question. Is Ashildr, me, really is the hybrid. The Doctor did create her. In one of those moments where he really did something he shouldn't have, he did create her. But she was the hybrid. And she's much cleverer than she was. Almost as clever as a Time Lord. We see she's using a manual to fly their new TARDIS that she and Clara are in. She doesn't know all that information off the top of her head, but she's smart enough to figure most of it out, although she apparently is now going to have a problem with her TARDIS's chameleon circuit the same way the Doctor does his. But we'll see if that doesn't get rectified the next time we meet Ashildr. And that leads me into my other topic. My second topic for this discussion is Ashildr and Clara flying off in their own TARDIS. Now, we get the discussion between the two of them acknowledging at some point they need to take Clara back to Gallifrey around the time she was taken away and put her back into history the way she ought to be, so she gets killed by the Raven. That at some point has to happen. But because they have a time machine, that doesn't need to be the first place they stop. And you've got Ashildr, the Immortal, and Clara, not quite a zombie, but frozen, unaging, whatever she is. Not supposed to be there at a time. And the two of them are going to travel for a bit. And I do think at some point we're going to see some version of Ashildr. Whether it's this version or the version that's on Earth. I think we've got a chance of seeing both of them again, maybe even. And that would be nice to have someone else who can weave in and out of the Doctor's pathway. But hopefully, by the time that happens, they've taken Clara and put her back. Taken her back to Gallifrey before that happens. Now maybe we can get one more story. The fact that they made the claim Clara and the Doctor together are the hybrid. Clara needs to not be in the Doctor's pathway anymore. So either if Ashildr is going to run in the Doctor, she's separated from Clara, or she's already taken Clara back. Now I know the idea here is to set it up so that Clara and Ashildr can run for ages. But I don't see that working. The Time Lords are going to catch up to them. The Doctor is going to do something to set them on that course to where Clara knows it's time for her to go back. And maybe that is what we get, is if we get another episode where Clara returns with Ashildr, it is the episode she goes back to Gallifrey, and the Doctor gets to help her go back, even though he may not realize all what's going on. Or he does realize at that point, something along those lines. He kind of gets an idea of what's going on. And so we get to see her go back. And we get one last hurrah with Clara. Otherwise, going on the basis that Clara and the Doctor together are toxic and they need to be kept apart, I don't think they're going to do more than one story. But I do hope we see Ashildr in the future. And maybe she's traveling alone. Maybe she's found herself a new companion. One way or the other, that's kind of what I would like to see. Let me know what you think on both of these ideas. Which of the three options do you think is the real option for who the hybrid is? And do you think we'll see Ashildr again? Do you even think we'll see Clara again? I've told you what I think about that, but I want to hear what you have to think of that idea. This has been Super Saiyan 7 Cinders with another Doctor Who discussion. We will have one more before the end of this, or by the end of this year when we get to the Christmas special. So we'll get that one covered when it comes. And I will see you then. Thank you for watching.